Hello, learners. I'm Dr. Shaumili Mandal, and I'm here with my second lecture, that is Folk Artifacts of East and Northeast India of my eighth module, Cultural Heritage and Cultural Assimilation. In this lecture, I'll be discussing about the folk artifacts of Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, Jharkhand, and the states of Northeast India. Bengal's folk artifacts, which are frequently handcrafted, have strong roots in rural traditions and have religious, mythical, or social importance, which are representation of the region's rich cultural and artistic legacy. The origin of the terracotta art is at Bishnupur in Bakura, and the important items are plaques, temple panels, terracotta horses, and elephants. The significance of these Bakura horses that it is a representation of Indian handicraft and rural Bengal. The use is architectural, ceremonial, and decorative. The terracotta art of Bengal is a rich and ancient tradition that reflects the region's cultural, religious, and artistic language. Originating centuries ago, this form of craftsmanship gained prominence during the reign of the Malla kings in Bishnupur, particularly between the 16th and 19th centuries. Due to the scarcity of stone in Bengal, artisans turned to the readily available alluvial clay to create intricately designed temple facades, sculptures, and decorative items. Terracotta temples in Bishnupur, such as the Rosh Mancho, the Jor Bangla temple, and the Madan Mohan temple, are celebrated for their detailed panels and depicting scenes from epics like the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, and they are celebrated for, as well as everyday rural life and folk traditions. The process involves molding of the fine clay by hand, drying it, and then firing it in kilns to achieve a durable reddish finish. Apart from the temple architecture, terracotta finds expression in objects like the iconic Bakura horse, clay dolls, votive plaques, and ritual items. These works not only serve aesthetic and devotional purposes, but also preserve centuries old stories and traditions. Today, regions like Bishnupur, Pachmura, and Jaipur remain active centers for terracotta art, where artisans continue to uphold and evolve this unique legacy through both traditional and contemporary creations. The scroll painting or Pottochitro, of which I have given a photo, originated in Midnapur, and they are done by the Potua people. The materials which are used are natural dyes and handmade paper or cloth. The themes are folklore, societal issues, and mythologies, mythological characters from the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. And the characteristics are that they narrate the story. Artists frequently sing potergan or songs of the scroll. The Pottochitro paintings of Bengal are a vibrant and ancient form of folk art that combine storytelling, music, and visual expression. The word Pottochitro comes from the Sanskrit word pot, means the cloth or the scroll, and the chitro means the picture, which is picture on cloth. Originating in rural Bengal, as I said, in Poshchim Mednipur and Purbo Midnapur, they are created by the artists who are also known as chitrakars and are both painters and singers. The Potochintra paintings are made on long scrolls using natural colors derived from plants, clay, and minerals, applied with handmade brushes on cloth treated with tamarind seed paste. The scrolls are unrolled panel by panel as the artist sings corresponding verses. And we have the story even of the goddess Manasa and the birth of Manasa and how she gained the folk deity position in the society. The style is highly stylized and narrative with bold outlines, flat colors, and detailed patterns. Themes often include depictions of gods and goddesses such as Durga, Krishna, Shiv, and mythological events. But modern potuas or chitrakars have used the medium to address topics like natural disasters, women's rights, and environmental concerns. Pottochitro is not just a painting style, but a living tradition that blends oral storytelling and visual art. In recent years, efforts have been made to preserve and promote this art form, with Potuas now creating artwork for exhibitions, wearable textiles, and illustrated books. Villages like, Noya in the Pingla district of West Bengal have become centers of this tradition, attracting researchers, artists, and tourists from around the world. And also, this Noya village, in Pingla, is a part of the Midnapur district. The clay dolls of Krishnanagar are in colorful, simple, and tribal. They are detailed, realistic, frequently featuring animals, goddesses, and colonial people are included in festivals and rituals, and they have a varied range of styles from realistic to geometric, and is very prevalent art form, you can say, in Bengal, and they are employed depending on the subject. The famous Maharaj Krishna Chandra, who aided the British East India Company, defeated Nawab Sirajuddaulah in the Battle of Plassey in 1757, is credited with the creation of the dolls of Krishnanagar. The king promoted the regional art of clay doll manufacturing and is a well known patron of the arts, especially music and literature too. He persuaded families from Dhaka and Nator, present day Bangladesh, to relocate to Ghurni, and this area later became the center of the clay doll business in Krishnanagar. Many things, in their most incredible variety, designs, colors, and techniques, make the clay dolls, different from others. The artists of Krishnanagar seem to be able to depict anything through their craft, including fruits, vegetables, animals, people, gods, and goddesses. We have the Dokra, the region for metal craft, and here it happens in Bakura. And the method is casting with lost wax, and the composition is brass or bronze of animals. And they are made, singers, tribal deities. It is used for decoration and worship. The Chou mask of the very popular Chou dance of Purulia are used in the performances. The features are large, expressive, and vividly painted characters, including mythological heroes, monsters, and gods like Shiv and Durga. We have the Alpona, which is a decoration, you made. The Alpona is made of rice paste for walls and flooring of weddings and festivals, especially the Lakshmi Puja. It is actually a painting which is drawn, and the designs are abstract motifs, floral designs, and symbols of deities. And they are neither saved or recorded. They are simply drawn, and you can say it is the artistic creation of the women of Bengal. We have the very famous Katha embroidery, which we find in the West Bengal rural areas. They are stitched and layered old saris and are embroidered with running stitches. And the mythologies, nature, and everyday life are the major themes of it. And where do we use, this Katha embroidery works? We use it as coverings, saris, shawls, and quills. You can say they are stitched on it actually. Jute from the nearby sources are also very famous, the jute craft of Bengal, and they include toys, rugs, wall hangings, and bags. We have the Shantipuri Tat, which is a traditional. We have the Shantipuri Tat, which is a traditional hand-woven cotton sari from the town of Shantipur in Nodia district, West Bengal. Known for its fine weave, elegant designs, and comfort, Shantipuri Tat saris are a prized part of Bengal's rich textile heritage. The word Tat refers to handloom woven cotton fabric, and Shantipur has been a major weaving center since ancient times. Some sources trace its weaving traditions back to the Gupta period. Shantipuri saris are characterized by the lightweight texture, tight weave, and decorative borders and pallus. The weave is so fine and neat that is often said, to resemble muslin, with some saris being semi transparent and airy, ideal for Bengal's humid climate. The motifs used are typically geometric patterns, floral designs, stripes, and temple borders, often in contrasting colors. The saris are woven on traditional pitlooms, and the skill of the weavers lies in creating intricate patterns using extra weft techniques, all by hand. While the traditional Shantipuri Tat sari is made of pure cotton, in modern times weavers have also started using blends with silk or zari to cater to changing taste. Despite mechanization in other parts of the country, Shantipur remains a stronghold of handloom weaving, and its saris continue to be sought after for both everyday wear and festive occasions. The classic and opulent Murshidabadi silk comes from the ancient area of Murshidabad in West Bengal. The silk, which is usually handmade by talented artisans, is manufactured from pure mulberry threads and is renowned for its delicate texture, natural gloss, and light feel. The fabric is a popular option for saris, dupattas, and dress materials since it is soft, breathable, and suitable for the Indian environment. Murshidabadi silk saris are particularly prized for their exquisite patterns, which frequently include block prints, hand painted motifs, and delicate stitching, similar to Katha work. Since Murshidabad was a significant center of silk production and trade during the Mughal and British eras, the silk has strong cultural origins. Next, I am going to talk about the folk artifacts of Bihar. Bihar has a rich and diverse tradition of folk artifacts that reflect its vibrant cultural heritage. The artifacts are deeply rooted in the daily lives, festivals, and religious practices of the people. We have the very famous Madhubani painting, of which I have attached a photo here, sometimes referred to as Mithila art, and coming from the Mithila region, are among the most well known. These elaborate paintings, which are typically made by women on walls and floors during festivals and ceremonies, incorporate themes from Hindu mythology, the natural world, and social gatherings. They are also used, they are made actually using natural dyes and pigments. The Sikki grass craft, which involves expertly weaving golden hued grass into exquisite objects like baskets, boxes, and ornamental figures that are frequently utilized in ceremonial settings, is another distinctive artifact. Another well liked folk item is lac bangles and ornaments, which are primarily made in Muzaffarpur and Bhagalpur and are valued for their vivid hues and elaborate designs. Both decorative and devout, terracotta and clay figures are frequently fashioned into toys, gods, and everyday settings. Bihar is also well known for its tikuli art, a Patna based craft that is less well known but is nonetheless quite beautiful. It consists of animal like paintings on hardboard and features images from folk and epics in vivid hues. They are a symbol of prosperity, spirituality, and identity. There have been multiple other reasons for wearing the vermilion dot on the forehead, apart from it being a mark of marriage. In its early days, tikuli was primarily created on glass sheets, which were then embellished with gold foil. Over time, the art evolved to encompass a broader range of material, including wood, timber, paper, and even fabric. Today, the artists use a variety of mediums to express their creativity, ensuring the continued versatility and appeal of tikuli art. These folk artifacts, which have been handed down through the centuries and are kept alive by rural craftspeople throughout the state, are more than just ornamental objects. They are vibrant manifestations of Bihar's cultural identity. We also have the very famous Manjusha painting, which is mostly done in Bhagalpur, Bihar, and is known for its painted temple shaped box or pots or Manjusha, as well as narrative scrolls and murals. While murals of Bihula, also called Bhetichitra, were usually painted on the walls of a newlywed couple's home as bearers of good fortune, the painted box and the narrative scrolls have cultural and ceremonial significance during the Bishari Puja, a significant local festival honoring the Bishari goddess. The Manjusha boxes were traditionally built by the Kumbhakar group and painted by the Malakkar clan. Next, I'm going to talk about the folk artifacts of Assam. The northeastern Indian state of Assam is well known for its cultural legacy, obviously, and is eloquently conveyed through its varied and elaborate folk artifacts. The jhapi, a traditional conical hat fashion of bamboo and toku leaves, is frequently, exquisitely adorned with red and white threads and worn during bihu dances and rural celebrations, is one of the most recognizable representations of Assamese workmanship. Assamese pottery, particularly from the Goalpara and the Dhubri region, is another important folk industry. Using a technique that dates back thousands of years, artists in these areas create exquisite earthenware without the use of a potter's wheel. Baskets, mats, fishing gear, and even furniture are examples of these, and they are the products made from wood, bamboo, and cane that combine practicality with artistic elegance. The state is also well known for its mask making heritage. The very colorful and expressive Majuli mask, of which I have attached a photo here, and they portray mythological figures in the Kshatriya dance performances. Though the Kshatriya dance performances are actually from, the Vaishnavite clan, and they are more or less, we can say, the classical dance, but the masks depict the folkness, the folk culture, we can say. It's a vital component of Assamese folk history. And we also have the gamusa, a red and white hand woven cloth which has great cultural and emotional value. I would like to expand, a bit on Majuli mask. They are, unique, vibrant, and they are practiced on the art form is practiced on the Majuli Island, the world's largest river island, located on the Brahmaputra River in Assam. And as I said, the Kshatriya dance was started, and it was founded actually by Srimant Sankardev. And the mask, also called mook in the local dialect, are a crucial component of the Onkyo knot even, a traditional Assamese theatrical performance based on scenes from Krishna's life and other Hindu myths. During plays and festivals, which attracts thousands of tourists to the Majuli community, the marks are used to represent, gods, demons, animals, and legendary figures. The bamboo structure is used to create the marks, covered with layers of clay and cloth, and painted with organic hues found in plants and animals. They are made as movable, three-dimensional structure that cover the entire head or sometimes the upper torso, enabling dramatic and realistic expression. The gamusa, which I just mentioned, is a rectangular hand-woven cotton fabric from Assam that is sometimes referred also as gamcha, and it is important a part of the attire of Assam. Although it serves a variety of purpose, just being, beyond a towel. It's derived from the words ga means body and musa means wiping. And it can be classified into two groups. The uka, known as the plain gamusa or gamcha, which is used on daily basis. The coarser textured, pani gamusa, which is used by agricultural laborers to clean their bodies, is an illustration, of how Assam is rich with agriculture and harvest. The fulam, which includes gamusa used for festivals or formal events and embellished with floral designs, is also another type of gamusa. In Assam, we find the very rare Muga silk, which is one of the best silk in the world and is distinguished by the inherent golden yellow color and serves as a distinctive representation of Assamese pride and heritage. The Antheria assamensis silkworm, which is unique to Assam, produces this silk because of its longevity, smooth texture, and inherent golden sheen, which only gets, better with time and washing. The silk is highly valued. It is used in the mekla chador, the traditional Assamese attire, and other ceremonial clothes, and are traditionally woven. The garments are frequently embellished with elaborate designs influenced by the culture, nature, and mythology. Now, I'll discuss about the folk artifacts of Jharkhand. Jharkhand is home to a diverse range of folk artifacts. We have the Dokra art. I have given a photo of the Dokra art here, an ancient kind of metal casting employing the lost wax technique. And we have the tribal pottery, which is usually unglazed and made with basic tools used for practical and ceremonial purposes. It is usually decorated with designs derived from everyday objects, animals, and plants. The state is also well known for its wooden carvings, especially the marks and figurines that are utilized in tribal celebrations. Stone carving displays exquisite craftsmanship in the form of gods, utensils, and ancient symbols, particularly in areas like Gaya and Hazaribagh. Another noteworthy art form is also here the Paitkar paintings, which are known as Jharkhand scroll paintings and uses natural colors on scrolls to tell tribal and mythological tales. In addition to being works of art, these folk artifacts serves as archives for the indigenous population of Jharkhand's collective memory, storytelling and rituals. The centuries old Dokra metal, which I said, is particularly practiced by the Dokra Damar tribes. And it, is around 4,000 years old. It's also, very much famous in Jharkhand's cities, like Tamar, Khunti, and Dholbhumgor district, where local craftspeople still use non-ferrous metals like brass and copper to craft beautiful pieces. A clay core is the desired shape, is first created and it is subsequently wrapped with layers of beeswax or charcoal infused resin. The wax mixture is used to create intricate textures, motifs, and patterns using fine threads. After covering the wax design with another layer of clay, the mold is heated until the wax melts and drips out. The resulting hollow chamber is filled with molten metal. The final metal artifact is revealed by breaking the exterior clay mold once it has cooled. As the mold is destroyed during this procedure, each piece of the Dokra art is unique. The beliefs and the way of the life of the tribal populations are reflected in these pieces. And they are tribal deities, animals, musicians, village settings, and ritual elements. Next, I come to the folk artifacts of Orissa. The state of Orissa has a strong tribal heritage. And we also have the Dokra, art here, the Dokra craft here. But the most important we have is the Shaura paintings, the Shaura or the Saura paintings, we say, which are a kind of folk expression, which is created by the Saura tribe. They are wall paintings which are made on canvas or mud walls using natural colors and they use geometric patterns to symbolically and spiritually depict societal events, nature and gods. Tribal people in Orissa also frequently carve wood, particularly for use in religious rites and festivals as masks, totems and ceremonial figures. Using materials like brass, beads, seeds, and silver, Orissa's tribal jewelry represents the community's connection to nature and has both decorative and spiritual uses. Fine silver wires are twisted and shouldered into decorative motifs to make silver filigree. which we can see, I've attached a photo of it. A delicate and complex type of metalwork distinguished by its lace like appearance. The beautiful technique is also known as Tarakashi in India, and it has been practiced for more than 500 years in Cuttack, Odisha, where it is particularly well known. Using incredibly thin silver threads, often as thin as human hair, silver filigree artists construct a wide variety of exquisite designs from geometric shapes and floral motifs to traditional symbols, animals, and birds to create jewelry, ornaments, and even tiny sculptures. These strands are painstakingly twisted, curled, and shouldered together on a metal foundation. We have cigarette boxes, cases, trays, necklaces, brooches, and earrings with silver filigree. The process begins with melting silver into thin wires, and the work demands immense precision and patience, as even the slightest error can ruin the symmetry or strength of the design. Once the desired pattern is formed, the filigree piece is soldered and polished to achieve a gleaming finish. A well known traditional hand woven fabric from the western section of Orissa, especially from Sambalpur, is known as the Sambalpuri silk. It is well known for using the elaborate ikkat or bandha process, in which the warp and the weft threads are tie dyed prior to weaving, producing distinctive, symmetrical, and colorful blurred edge patterns. The Sambalpuri silk saris, which are woven from pure silk threads, are renowned for their vibrant, culturally inspired themes, including shakha, chakra, fool, animal, and temple patterns. They are also praised for their rich texture and inherent gloss. The themes have profound roots in Orissa's culture and frequently represent wealth, tradition, and spirituality. Next, I'll be talking about the folk artifacts of Arunachal Pradesh. Particularly among the Monpa and Wancho tribes, wood carving is a very popular craft. They create elaborate masks, totems, and ceremonial figures that are utilized in religious rites and celebrations. Animals, ancestral spirits, and legendary creatures are frequently portrayed in these carvings. The tribes make anything from baskets, mats, and headdresses to weapons like bows and arrows, which are frequently embellished with feathers, beads, and animal bones. The crafts are made from bamboo and cane and are essential to both everyday and ceremonial life. Another important tribal artifact are the traditional textiles, particularly the clothing and the shawls that women weave by hand on backstrap looms. The fabrics are renowned for their vivid colors and strong geometric patterns, each of which has symbolic value related to tribal rank and identity. Next, I'm going to talk about the folk arts of Meghalaya. The crafts made from bamboo and cane, expertly woven into baskets, mats, fish traps, and commonplace household objects, are among the most well known. A remarkable example of useful tribal art is the noop, a rain shield composed of bamboo and palm leaves. Traditional textiles are also important. The Khasi women wear hand woven garments called janshims, which are frequently embellished with gold and silver jewelry, such as the Kainjri Shiar, a necklace made of coral and gold beads. Another distinctive artifact from the Garo events like Wangala are wooden masks, which are frequently used to symbolize animals or spirits. Handcrafted instruments like the dama, a Garo drum, the chigring, a traditional Garo string instrument, and the dutara, a string instrument used by the Khashis and Jaintiyas, are examples of how the tribe exhibit their musical heritage. Megalithic stone monuments with profound cultural and spiritual importance may also be discovered in the Khasi and Jaintia hills, where they act as ancestral memories. The animistic beliefs of the tribes are reflected in their wood and stone carvings. Collectively, these artifacts retain Meghalaya's tribal identity and storytelling customs, in addition to fulfilling utilitarian and ceremonial purposes. Baskets, mats, containers, winnowing trays, fishing traps, musical instruments, chairs, caps, and even whole buildings are made from bamboo, among many other practical and ornamental products. The Meghalaya bamboo basket is one of the most recognizable objects, renowned for its exquisite weaving patterns and long lifespan. The baskets can be used as decorative items or for transporting and storing goods. Traditional equipment and methods are employed by craftspeople. The weaving designs, which can range from straightforward crisscross patterns to quite complex themes, are frequently handed down through generations. The Jaintia and Khasi tribes are particularly adept in intricate, delicate weaving, while the Garo tribe creates strong and utilitarian bamboo goods and used in agriculture and daily life. Now I come to the folk artifacts of Nagaland. The carvings, of the Naga artifacts tell tales of bravery, ancestry, and spiritual beliefs through the representation of humans, animals, and symbolic patterns. The traditional headdresses used during festivals and dances, which are fashioned of bamboo, cane, feathers, usually hornbills, and animal hair, are among the most recognizable artifacts. Tribal jewelry, crafted from tusks, bones, brass, and beads, is an important way to display one's identity and social standing. The tribe's warrior background is reflected in the notable artifacts of shields, daos, which are traditional machetes, and spears. Vibrant handwoven shawls and clothing, each with distinctive tribal themes and patterns, are highly symbolic and frequently signify accomplishments. The Konyak tribe, one of the most famous one, make intricate ceremonial necklaces, head hunting trophies, and gunsmithing tools in addition to their well-known tattoo art and craftsmanship. Both ceremonies and enjoyment involve the use of musical instruments such as mouth harps, bamboo flutes, and log drums. When taken as a whole, these artifacts are not only ornamental, rather, they are intricately intertwined into the historical, social, and spiritual fabric of Nagaland. The tribal weapons, of which I have given a photo, the tribal weapons are traditionally crafted from materials that are readily available, reflecting the Nagas' deep resourcefulness and deep connection to nature. The weapons are made, from a combination of wood, bamboo, iron, bone, animal hide, and they are extremely durable and has a symbolic significance. They are also composed of steel or iron, and the handle is typically constructed from wood, which is, bamboo or hardwood, and can be adorned with metal rings, beads, or animal leather for both decorative and functional reasons. Next, I'll come to the folk artifacts of Mizoram. Handwoven textiles, especially the pua, a traditional wraparound worn by Mizo women and delicately patterned with vibrant geometric patterns that frequently represent tribal identity and social position, are among the most renowned artifacts. Another characteristic of Mizo art is the use of bamboo and cane to create furniture, headgear, baskets, containers, and even dwelling constructions. As we can see during the festivals and the dances that the headdress and ornaments are made of brass, bones, and beads. And the hunting implements like bows, arrows, and spears are also found in Mizo artifacts. The weapons were previously necessary for life, and now they represent their courage and independence. The dances and communal songs are accompanied by musical instruments such as the kuang. Here I have given you a photo of the kuang, which is a drum. Rochemnen, a wind instrument, and bamboo flutes, which are essential to Mizo festivals and ceremony. Cultural significance is often attached to wood carvings and ceremonial objects utilized in traditional rituals or ancestral veneration. These artifacts retain the myth, tradition, and belief of Mizoram's indigenous past, in addition to their practical and aesthetic use. The kuang, which I have given a photo, is usually made from jackfruit trees or other hardy native hardwoods, and the product is made from a hollowed out log or wood. Animal hide has been securely stretched over both ends and it covers the drumhead. A key instrument, in Mizo dances and rites, like the chelem and the chirao, as well as during church service. There's also another wooden instrument with strings that resembles a basic, monochord, is the beng boom, and it is created by stretching a thread across a single piece of carved wood, played by plucking a string, frequently used as an accompaniment to stories or in folk tunes. Next, I'll be talking about the folk artifacts of Manipur. Handwoven fabrics, especially traditional shawls and wraps like the rangkhol, fanek, and puon, are among the most notable tribal artifacts of Manipur. The textiles are embellished with elaborate patterns and symbolic motifs that frequently signify tribal identity, status, or ceremonial significance. They are made from bamboo and cane and are common and are used to create commonplace objects like headgear, mats, baskets, and fishing traps. In addition to being practical, these are also artistically woven with regional variations in technique and pattern. Animal spiritual symbols or ancestor tales are frequently portrayed in wooden carvings, particularly in tribal dwellings and communal areas. The community's rich ornamental tradition are reflected in the jewelry worn at festival, ceremonies, and dances. The significant artifacts, represent the heritage of numerous tribal groups, including spears, dows, and shields. In tribal rites and cultural festivals, musical instruments like drums, bamboo flutes, and songs are crucial because they are used for accompanying. We have the Thang Ta, a traditional Manipuri martial art form, and the Kabui Naga dance. In addition to being works of beauty and craftsmanship, these tribal folk artifacts represent the social structure, spirituality, and cultural identity of the tribal communities in Manipur. The gracefulness, spirituality, and cultural diversity of Manipur are shown in the exquisitely detailed and symbolic ghagra, which is worn in Manipuri dance, especially in the traditional Ras Leela performances. This traditional ghagra, called the potloi, is a stiff cylindrical skirt with velvet borders, sequins, mirror work, and the elaborate embroidery. It is frequently made in vivid hues like red, green, or yellow. Female dancers who play Radha and the gopis use it to give their characters a doll like celestial aspect. Next, I'll talk about the folk artifacts of Sikkim. The Lepcha handwoven textiles, including the Thokrodam and the Dambam, are among the most well known. These traditional clothes are woven on backstrap looms with brilliant natural dyes and symbolic patterns that represent harmony with nature. The Tibetan born Bhutias are renowned for their exquisitely made woolen clothing and carpets, as well as religious artifacts that are essential to their spiritual lives, such as prayer wheels, metal figurines of deities, and thankas. Another important Sikkim tribal craft Another important Sikkim tribal craft is wood carving, which is particularly evident in the construction of monasteries, traditional furnishings, and the ceremonial masks worn in Buddhist charm dances. I've given here a photo of the charm dance mask. They represent mythological characters, animals, and deities. The powerful protective deity Mahakal, the famous spiritual master Guru Padmasambhav, and other vengeful and benevolent forms like Yamantaka are the common figures. In addition to assisting dancers in embodying celestial characters, these masks also serve to spread mythological tales, and spiritual lessons across the community. They are kept as holy objects in monasteries like the Rumtek, Penyangse, and Enche, where the performances are held. And they reflect, a close relationship between art, spirituality, and cultural history. All tribal communities produce baskets, mats, containers, and even traditional musical instruments like flutes and damfus of bamboo and cane. And another significant artifact is a tribal jewelry, which is worn at festivals and ceremonies to represent status, heritage, and spiritual protection. It is crafted from silver, coral, turquoise, and beads. The combination of environment, spirituality, and everyday life found in Sikkim's tribal folk artifacts provides a rich understanding of the area's distinct cultural fabric and its enduring customs that have been passed down through the ages. Next, I'll be talking about the folk artifacts of Tripura. The hand woven textiles, especially the risa, rignai, and rikutu, they are the traditional clothing worn by Tripuri women. The tribal craftsmanship in Tripura is characterized by its use of bamboo and cane. Tribes combine practicality and artistic expression to create exquisitely woven furniture, mats, fishing traps, containers, and baskets. Often handed down as heirlooms, traditional decorations are worn during festival and ceremonies and are crafted from silver beads and occasionally money. Tribal dance and musical traditions heavily rely on the use of natural resources to create their musical instruments, such as the sarinda, dangru, and the sungoi. Tribal tribes in Tripura also produce religious and ritual artifacts like the stone buildings, wooden idols, and ceremonial objects used in festivals like the Gariya Puja, which honors fertility and the harvest, as well as ancestor worship. Tribal history also includes traditional weaponry like bows, arrows, and daws, machetes, which were originally used for hunting and now represent the pride in one's culture. Baskets, mats, trays, containers are just a few of the utilitarian and aesthetically pleasing objects made by artisans using different kinds of bamboo. The mura is a traditional bamboo stool that is lightweight, strong, and exquisitely woven. I have given a photo of the mura. It is one of the most well known bamboo goods from Tripura. The elaborate weaving designs, frequently paired with colored or cane threads, highlight the artist's accuracy and inventiveness. In order to cater to urban and international markets, Tripura's bamboo craft has recently expanded to include contemporary jewelry, home decor pieces, and environmentally responsible goods. Now, I come to the end of our second lecture of the 8th mod. And thank you. See you soon in the other lectures.